Yo, peace and love, YouTube family. Peace and love. Shout out to the Knicks Nation. Shout out to the diehard true Knicks fans. Shout out to all my peoples that subscribe and support my channel. Appreciate you. Shout out to Nothing But Knicks. Shout out to Clutch B-Ball TV. Yo, it's so many, man. Nick of Time Show. The Raw Hebrew Remnant. There's so many, man. Peace and love to all of y'all, man. I appreciate all of y'all. And I want to support all Knicks fans, yo. Whether we agree or not, difference of opinions, all of that is it all comes from love, right? Come from the same place. So on that note, let me get into my fifth basketball prospect, draft prospect for the Knicks. My fifth basketball card. This is the last guy that I'm gonna suggest for the 28th pick. Tyrell Terry is the guy I told you that I would really like to get, but he might get snatched at 20 before we get to pick at 27. So if that happens, I told y'all about my man Leandro Balmaro. Nice kid. Somebody that we should look at, man. That's a little diamond in the rough. Sneaky on the low pick that, I don't know, y'all. But, boom, I got this for you. Let's keep it basic. I gave you two dudes that's pretty far-fetched. We don't know if the Knicks, if they're on the Knicks radar, but like I told you, I'm making my basketball cards because I prefer to do that than speculate on trades. I'm not gonna do that. So what I'm gonna do is take real information, analyze it, and hit y'all. So that being said, let's talk about my man Robert Woodard II for the 27 picks by the New York Knicks. Basically, if we don't do anything fancy and they don't want to go for Balmaro and Tyrell Terry is gone, Robert Woodard is the dude to pick, B. Bottom line. And if the Knicks ended up picking him, if he's still there, we get kind of lucky with him too. He's another very good player that we have to consider taking. Now, I've been looking up a lot of players, and there's a couple of guys that they official. Like I told you, this draft is deep when you get out the lottery on the low. But because y'all listen to all these nonsense sports programs, you got to stick to the YouTube people that is like me, that's investigating, looking at film, and giving you an honest opinion, but not based on emotion. It got to be based on facts, because we deal with facts here all day on the Sports Snob Show. All right. That being said, here we go. Robert Woodard is 21. He's 235 pounds, and he's a shooting guard. It's no disrespect, Robert Woodard II, because I don't know about his father and that. I don't want to be disrespectful. But I gotta say this about this guy off GP. This dude is an academic standout besides being an athletic standout. So that means high basketball IQ. And I told y'all before, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm not stuck on positions because right now basketball is a positionless game. They eliminated true point guards and they eliminated true big men because of our athleticism. So they eliminated that. So now you have to have a high basketball IQ because you can't make up for mistakes with your athleticism due to the rules that are in effect right now and the style of play that is being pushed on us. So we can't get stuck on certain things anymore. We have to start changing the way we think and how we look at building a team. So from now on, going forward, I would believe that everybody that's putting together a basketball team is going to look for players with high basketball IQ, which is why I mentioned Balmero and I mentioned Terry after the lottery pick. Now, I would like to get Obi Toppin, like I told you, with my 8th pick, but we're not going to get into the 8th pick because we don't know what the Knicks are going to do with that, and this video is about the 27th. Now, the reason why I went into all of that is because Robert Woodard is a shooting guard. This kid is a shooter. You hear me? 6'7" shooter. So now you could play Frank or DSJ at the point guard, and you got RJ at the 3. If you want to play with Knox at the 4, or we keep Randall at the 4, it doesn't matter. This kid could play the three coming off the bench if he's not starting, and you could throw him out there with, let's say, DSJ, um, Dotson, this kid, Randall, and someone else. Man, that's a nasty second unit, depending on what we got coming on the floor before that. Because Dotson, man, I'm hoping he comes back because he's a good shooter. He's a two-way player. He defends the ball well. He gives effort. And I've heard people talk about you don't always reach your ceiling. See, that's the thing that I don't like about this era we in now. When I was growing up, like the first 20 something years of my life, I don't remember this limited way of thinking. Now we want to put stigmas on anything just to be right, just so that our perspective could be right. What is up with this putting a limit on people because of their age? Honestly, 20 years ago, when a guy was drafted and he was higher up in age, that was looked at as in a high regard. Why? Because you knew that guy went to school for 4 years. He has experience. Even if he didn't go to the same college for 4 years, 9 times out of 10, they play 4 years of school. They have basketball experience and knowledge. They fit right into the pros immediately. You don't have to be babysitted. They're a lot more mature. It's a lot more easier transition when you have players of that were older. Now they try to come up with all these stigmas to, justify not drafting somebody because of their age, because they're 22. Like that's just so. I say that because I heard more than once. I heard about 2 or 3 times someone try to limit KNICKS and refer to Damian Dotson as having his ceiling. And I just don't agree with that. And I'm sorry to get off the basketball court about Robert Woodard, but I just have to let y'all know that putting an age limit on someone that's an athlete and they work hard, especially someone like that don't have a lot of mileage, he ain't been getting used in the pros like that, we still don't know what he has to offer. You cannot say that he can't get better. Did you watch Jordan play? Were you alive when Michael Jordan? Did you literally watch the games while they were transpiring? Or are you watching video and going off of suggestions from other people in their opinion? Because players can get better at any phase and level of their career. It's just a matter of wanting to do it. It's just a matter of putting in the work. And Michael Jordan and a few other players that I'm not making a list for you right now, but there's many players who have improved themselves over time, even after 28 years old. So that small-minded way of thinking, get that out of here. The Knicks Nation, we don't need that. Back to my man Woodard, man. Word. And I say that to say that Dotson, Woodard, like I said, having Frank, man, you talking about defense and shooting that we needed? We were, man. So, Robert Woodard, he averaged, he averaged 11.4 points a game. He had 6.5 rebounds. He had 1.3 assists. He had 1.1 steals, and he averaged a block, 1.1. I think only like 3 players averaged something like that. I think Tyler Bay, him, and someone else are like the only 3 players to average, to put statistics in five statistical categories to at least average one of everything. He shot 49.5% from the field, and he shot 42.3%. 42.9% from 3. So he's a 43% 3-point shooter. And from what I saw in the video, man, the dude makes smart plays, man. You got to go look at the Mississippi State highlights and footage of this dude, man. He's a very smart player. He has the ability to dribble the ball. He's wet. His jump shot is wet, fam. You heard? Wet. Like under pressure wet. Like in his face, defenders jumping at him and he's wetting it. Yo, he finishes at the rim. Definitely finishes at the rim. And he plays D, man. Like real good D. He got a strong inside-outside game. That's what I see with this kid, man. And he reminds me a lot of Glenn Rice, B. Probably a little smaller than Glenn Rice in like body size and maybe an inch or two. But bro, when I watch this kid's highlights and I watch him play, executing in the post, turnaround jump shots, shooting off the three, shooting with dudes, you know, he's cutting off the screen, getting it, bounce off, make a little dribble, move back, create some space, shooting three, and the defender. Yo, the kid, he got the total package, especially for a shooter. Like I said, he could shoot any kind of three as well as not everybody can do that in his draft, but this is another kid talented enough where he's hitting threes almost in any situation. And that's important. We need that. We need people that can handle pressure because this is New York, this is the Knicks, and when things get bad, we need for this person to be able to step up regardless of how the surrounding atmosphere and vibe is and the energy that's around him. And this dude shows that he could do that. So go check out those Mississippi State highlights of my man Robert Woodard II because basically I'm hoping that if they don't do anything extra fancy, this is the kid that they got their eye on and they just take him because he's not only a safe pick, he's a smart pick and he's an asset. This is why you don't give away picks because when you can get players like this with the potential that he has on both sides of the ball, inside and out, post, perimeter, come on. Yo, on that note, you already know. I'm out of here. Because I got it like that, y'all. Peace.